The Lost Key, A Mysterious Stranger's Price. Sarah is a college student who lives in an apartment near her university. She's a responsible and hardworking student who always makes sure to keep track of her belongings. Today, she had a long day of classes and couldn't wait to get back to her apartment to relax. As she walked back to her apartment, Sarah reached into her bag to grab her key, but it was nowhere to be found. She quickly searched through her bag and pockets, but the key was gone. She panicked as she realized that without the key, she wouldn't be able to enter her apartment. Sarah retraced her steps, hoping to find the key somewhere on the ground, but had no luck. She searched the surrounding areas of the university, but it was nowhere to be seen. Sarah couldn't believe she had lost her key, and she felt frustrated and helpless. She knew she had to find a solution quickly, or she would be forced to spend the night outside. Sarah searched for her key in all the places she could remember visiting on her way back home from college. She retraced her steps, checked the lost and found at the university, and even asked her classmates if they had seen it. However, her search proved futile, and she couldn't find the key anywhere. As time passes, Sarah began to worry about what she would do if she couldn't find her key. She didn't have any spare keys, and her landlord was unreachable at the moment. Sarah felt helpless and stranded, unsure of what to do next. Sarah weighed her options. She could call a locksmith or a maintenance person to help her get into her apartment, but she knew it would be expensive and time-consuming. Alternatively, she could call a friend to crash with for the night, but she didn't want to inconvenience anyone. Feeling frustrated and defeated, Sarah decided to continue searching for her key. She retraced her steps and combed through every inch of the sidewalk and surrounding grass. She even searched nearby trash cans and bushes, but still had no luck. As the sun began to set, Sarah started to feel hopeless. She was exhausted and hungry, and the thought of spending the night outside made her anxious. She sat down on the curb and took a deep breath, trying to calm her racing thoughts. Sarah was lost in thought, trying to come up with a solution to her problem when she heard a voice behind her. "Are you looking for something?" the voice asked. Sarah turned around and saw a man standing a few feet away from her. He was tall and lean with piercing green eyes that seemed to look right through her. She felt a chill run down her spine as she looked at him. "Yes," she replied hesitantly. "I lost my apartment key and I can't find it." The man nodded, his eyes still fixed on her. "I can help you find it," he said in a calm, steady voice. "But there is a price to pay for my services." Sarah felt a shiver run through her body as she looked at him. She wasn't sure if she could trust him, but she didn't have any other options. "What's the price?" she asked, trying to sound confident. "That's for me to know and for you to find out," the man replied with a small smile. Sarah hesitated for a moment, but then decided to take the risk. She needed to get into her apartment, and she was running out of time. "Okay," she said, taking a deep breath. "I accept your offer." The man nodded and began to walk down the street, motioning for her to follow him. Sarah hesitated for a moment, but then decided to follow him. She didn't know where he was taking her, but she hoped that he would keep his promise and help her find her key. Sarah felt a sense of relief as the stranger confidently reached into his pocket and pulled out her lost key. She couldn't believe her luck in meeting someone who could find lost objects. But then the stranger's expression darkened, and he turned to Sarah with a serious look. "There is a price to pay for my services," he said in a low voice. "I don't work for free." Sarah's heart sank. She had a bad feeling about this, but she was desperate to get back into her apartment. "What kind of price?" she asked, trying to sound casual. "It depends on the object and the difficulty of finding it," the stranger replied cryptically. "For your key, it will be a simple task. All you have to do is answer a riddle." Sarah frowned. She wasn't particularly good at riddles, but it seemed like a small price to pay. "Okay, what's the riddle?" she asked. The stranger leaned in close and whispered the riddle in her ear. I am always hungry. I must always be fed. The finger I touch will soon turn red. What am I? It was a difficult one, and Sarah had no idea what the answer could be. She hesitated for a moment, but then she decided to take a chance. I'll answer your riddle, she said. Fire. The stranger nodded and handed her the key. Good luck, he said, and then he vanished into the night. Sarah tried to shake off the eerie feeling that had settled over her. She turned the key in the lock and opened the door to her apartment. She breathed a sigh of relief as she stepped inside, but then she heard a strange noise coming from the bedroom. She cautiously made her way to the bedroom and found a small box on her bed. Inside was a note from the stranger, congratulating her on solving the riddle. Sarah shuddered, realizing that she had no idea who this stranger was or what he wanted from her. Sarah knew that she would never forget the strange encounter with the mysterious stranger and his riddle, and that it would serve as a reminder to always be careful when accepting help from strangers.